Listen, Grambling and Southern friends headed to the Big Easy with a shot at going to the SWAC championship, and despite a furious comeback, it was Southern who prevailed 52-45, so they still wear the discount double check as they head back to Houston following a tremendous victory in the 40th Bayou Classic. Along with my broadcast partner, Ron Mitchell, I'm Mark Gray. 245 is the count in a tremendous college football game worthy of a championship caliber performance. I think about this game and I think about two very talented quarterbacks who made statements that the future is promising, but the future is now. Let's start with Austin Howard, a true freshman. Dawson Odom says if you're going to recruit a true freshman at quarterback and he can't play, why recruit him? We found out why today.
It says a lot about a program when you can come in and start a true freshman and the upperclassmen accept him. You know, it speaks earmarks about where they can go. They manage him very well. He plays within the offensive system, what allows him the ability to flourish as the game goes. But then he has the greatest essential help in Leonard Tillery. He's a workhorse that put up 168 yards rushing.
And when you consider his big play receivers made big plays, Mike Jones getting downfield, a couple of big touchdown passes for a while there. He had 2 receptions, 2 touchdowns, and 100 yards. That was an incredible stat line, but he made the plays, and thanks to Tillery, it took the pressure off of him. But what a brilliant performance all the way around by that Southern offense who did everything they needed to do. And then the special teams gets in. Jaleel Richardson gets 1 touch. He takes it to the house. Willie Quinn, you can't underscore his performance enough. Southern's big play skill players made big plays in a big game.
Hey, in a game of this magnitude, from the minute we get off the plane here in the Big Easy, you saw the fans. They were geared up for it. And we knew, looking at the stats, this was going to be a game that was going to be the game of all games. And it turned out to be every bit of that as they played this all the way to the end.
Then you look at Grambling, and as much of a wonderful Cinderella magic carpet ride as it was this season, in the end it comes to an end. But in a losing effort, one of the great performances in the history of that university by their quarterback, Jonathan Williams, almost 500 yards total offense, willing his team back to within the stone's throw of a victory. Just an unbelievable performance by a great young quarterback.
He came less than a ball length of tying this game up, potentially with the PAT conversion, but he took them single-handedly down the field because the running game was non-existent. And it's unheard of to put this amount of points up and you don't even have a running back that can eclipse. You don't even total 50 yards rushing for the entire game.
That's just absolutely amazing. He had to throw the football around 64 times and again was within a half a yard of taking his team at least into overtime. And we know anything can happen in overtime, and it usually does. But this game will be remembered for a critical play call. You've got a timeout, you come out, you're within a goal, 1 yard of scoring a touchdown. You go with a dive play. I think there are a lot of people that are going to at least have raised eyebrows or scratching their heads about that call.
You know, I kind of question it too. We're up in the booth. But Southern, these guys are 300 pounds across the front. Grambling didn't have a running game the entire game, and now with all the money, the title going to Houston just down the road, you can't buy a yard. You know, it's like buying a vow.
Yeah.
You can't get it. And you know, when you look at it, I question why not throw the ball? It's been working for you the entire game. And then after that, the clock runs out, and it runs out on a season that they really turned around and got a lot to be happy about.
And we have to give credit where credit is due to Broderick Fobbs, who does an outstanding job of restoring the class and the dignity to arguably the biggest brand of black college football. I mean, you can talk about name your HBCU, but when people think about black college football, they do in fact think about the legacy of Eddie Robinson and Grambling State University. One of Coach Rob's guys comes in and restores the program. They will hurt, and they will hurt probably all season, much like Alabama did after last year's debacle at Auburn. It'll make them a stronger team. What do you think that says about his character and the character of the team, the way that they fought back?
I mean, they started from inside out. You get your guys together, whatever happened last year, you erase that. And you come back and you say, we're going to play this one game at a time, and look what has led them to a title game, and the fans have gotten back into it. Grambling State football is back on the map.
And that's good for black college football. Now, there are a few firsts in your life at this age, and on your birthday weekend here in 2014, you cut your teeth on the Bayou Classic, which is more than just a game. It's a cultural, and you can make an argument here in the Big Easy, a spiritual celebration. What do you make of this event?
Oh, I love the excitement. For breakfast, I had red beans and rice and sausage. So I'm going to look for a good time, just as all of these fans.
Right.
The last 5 minutes of this game was so entertaining, with the scoring going back and forth, back and forth. It's going to be the epitome, and it's going to mark how the French Quarters on Bourbon Street is going to kind of jump tonight.
Yeah, I would venture to say a lot of Columbia blue and gold going to be down there in the French Quarter this evening, and a lot of blue and gold in Houston next weekend as Southern looks to defend their discount double check or SWAC championship, and will have the call on HSRN. And those of you who thought that there was a demise to the Bayou Classic, think again. When Southern and Grambling are healthy, so too is the Bayou Classic. That's the story from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Southern, a 52-45 winner of the Bayou Classic. They face Alcorn State next week here on HSRN. Our final time, partner, man. Always a pleasure rolling with you.
It's been great.
All right, we'll see you next week from Houston. Keep it locked to hsrn.com and download that mobile app, HSRN, the voice of choice.
Stand up! Hey!